I believe if you only have the free version though, like it only allows you to record like 30 minutes of it or something. But it says you're recording now. So
We're in, dude. We're recording.
all right.
Thanks for doing this, man.
Dude, thanks for having me again.
Yeah.
This is fun. Am I the first person to be on this thing twice?
No. I had this guy on to tell me about this bar story where he got like canned. This chick, she went ballistic and like she went like directly to the owner and like put in a bunch of hidden cameras and shit. And I was like, oh, dude, you got to come on and tell the story.
What?
Yeah.
Hidden cameras? That's so serious.
Yeah, he was doing like blow and smoking weed on camera at this bar. Hey, you got to get through it, man. I mean, you know what's funny? It was right before the pandemic, and she's stuck there making a wage, which is nothing, like absolutely nothing. As far as I know, fuck, I don't know if they punched it up or not, but you and I both know like bartenders get paid $2 or something like that, and nobody's going to the bars. Like the bars are getting shut down. So it's like he got fired and hired. He was forced to get like a factory job, and so when everything got shut down, he was able to collect unemployment and not have a job. And she had to go to work at the bar where there were no people. Like if you're working for tips, it's pretty much a disaster.
Right. It blows my mind what was deemed like essential work during this time. Like the biggest one to me is like all of the dispensaries, because there's still motherfuckers spending time in prison for pot charges, yet now we're legally selling pot like in multiple states, like
don't get me started.
I don't even know if it's most states yet, but it's got to be at least 15 states at this point that are legal, right? I don't know, but anyways, it's a lot.
I've got a weed card, and I was happy that that was deemed an essential business. I was like, oh, cool. I'll just, I'll go get some weed then if I'm going to be hanging out at the house.
Do you want to know something crazy, man? Like, I'm really not even a pot smoker anymore. I've switched over during pandemic. I've switched over to White Claws, which definitely start like with breakfast. It's a problem. And Xanax, which is doctor prescribed. It's under control, but I don't know if it's good or bad, or I'm gonna have to address it. I think there's meetings for people like me, but I just am not there yet.
That's me without prescription, White Claws and Xannies.
Yeah, I mean, dude, like Xanax is a miracle, dude. For somebody who like for my entire life, like I've definitely been an anxious person, and I mean, you name the psychological disease, I've got it, or I've been told I have it, and I just like during quarantine, like depression, fucking mania, like everything just went like through the roof.
Yeah.
And my doctor, God bless her, which I will tell you, I shouldn't say this, but her legit name is Dr. Bliss, bro.
Whoa, really?
But she's the best lady, and she really just like, it's a really cool system. Like I pay like a monthly subscription fee, and then I just get to like text her at random at any time with all of my like hypochondriac fucking ideas of how I'm dying of whatever type of cancer WebMD has told me I'm currently dying of. So
that's good.
Yeah, man. It's really I mean, it's the best $75 that I spend all month. Let's just say that.
You gotta get me in contact with this person. That's pretty good,
dude. She's taking new patients. So yeah,
that's
man.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about. Have we even introduced you? Welcome back, Travis.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The most amazing last name ever. We went over this last podcast.
I mean, that and now this hair that if I ever let down. are definitely my my two redeeming qualities. So, you know, if there's ever a lady out there who just simply wants their child to have good hair and a great last name, like,
yeah,
I'm your man.
Yeah. Is it a Greek mythical creature? I forget.
Yeah, it's definitely a part of like Greek mythology. The last name is Chimera. I don't think we've said that.
Okay.
But it's yeah, it's a Greek mythological monster. I got a little tattoo of it here. But it's a pretty epic story. Like if you read it, if you're into mythology, like it had this pretty epic battle with Pegasus, which was like a horse with wings flying around, I guess. And the Chimera was a monster that basically had the head of a lion, a goat, a tail of a serpent, breathed fire. Pretty badass, man.
Yeah, who can withstand that kind of mythological
but,
power?
But I mean, to be fair, Pegasus for sure kicked the Chimera's ass, and Chimera died. But
oh really? Oh man, how does a horse with wings come out triumphant on that?
I'm pretty sure there was like somebody who was riding it, like maybe like let's just go ahead and say Hercules, just so I feel better about myself. You know, I don't know, but yeah, there's it is a cool last name for sure.
Yeah. Let's talk about the album that you just put out, man. I'm excited. I was excited to see that you were doing that. I immediately jumped on Instagram and was like, dude, let's promote this thing. I love that you're doing this. Is this a product of? I'll get into questions later, but tell me a little bit about your album, man.
So, you know, I'm 32 years old, about to be 33 in less than a month. I am far from a musician. Like that is like, I am not a musician at all, you know, but quarantine, like, you know, got laid off, had a couple of virus scares myself. I've been tested 8 times.
Damn, dude.
And
I got to go in on Tuesday, which is when this podcast is actually come out, and get the fucking Q-tip in the back of the throat.
It's not bad. It's important to do. It is. It's not. I mean, yeah, it'll make your eyes water, but yeah. So, anyways, like I've had this buddy for years and years and years. Actually, like when I first moved to Austin, he was in this band called Sabrosa Union, which was like it was like a ska, like reggae, like punk, like
I remember Sabrosa
band, but yeah, they rocked. They fucking rocked, you know? And it was the first live show that I ever went to when I was in Austin. And I literally just hit this dude up on Facebook and I was like, hey, like, how can I get involved? Can I like book shows? Can I like do something for you? And he was pretty much like, no. And but like we kind of like became homies, and I ended up jumping in a van with them like when I moved back from Austin to New York City, and we just like went on like this 3-week tour where I just like barely drove the bus and was just kind of like a guy there.
You're a guy on
you know pretty much
character.
But it was super fun. But I was always telling this guy, I was like, look, listen, like, you know, sure, I know like some chords on the guitar and I can strum along to most things, but I was like, I got stories to tell, man. And like, I can't really write. Like I've attempted to write books, but like, I don't know where like commas and semicolons, and like, I can never keep like the right tense, like throughout like long, multiple pages, let's just say, you know?
Yeah.
And then like in my head, this has been my entire life, like with art, is whatever I try to do, whether it's like a painting, whether it's a book that I tell myself I can write, or a poem, or whatever it is, I end up doing it, and then I just like get in my head and I just fucking delete it. Like I can't tell you how many times I've deleted like 100 pages of a novel, you know?
Dude, let me tell you an Andy Warhol quote that keeps me from deleting or keeps me from not going forward with art. But he says, make art, and while others are deciding whether it's good or not, make more art. Just keep doing it while people are themselves.
that's the thing, man. And that's what I really like came to terms with during this quarantine is it's like, it's not my job to decide whether this shit is good or not. Like it's everybody else's job, you know? So so I hit up this guy and I've been trying to get him to do this for years and he's just pretty much like, nah, you know? And I'm like, dude, listen, like I'm gonna drive to Austin. I was living in Marfa, Texas at this time, which is like a whole nother story we can get into later. But I was like, look, I'm driving to Austin and we're gonna make music. Like, I'm gonna show you shit that I like. You're going to make music, which is what you do, and I'm gonna write lyrics. I'm gonna tell stories. It's gonna be super stripped down. Like, this is not how this dude rocks out. Like, this dude rocks, you know? And I'm like, listen, I need you to play like a G, C, and a D over and over again, and then like add some hi-hats to it, you know? And he's like, this is fucking lame as shit, you know?
Like,
And
man, real fast, dude.
yeah. And but man, we got together for like 3 days, and 2 of the 3 songs that are going to be released on Spotify, which was like a big step. Like that's basically what I went into this as. Is I was like, look, like this is how I got him to say yes. Is I was like, look, how much do I have to pay you to spend the time with me to create some music where all I'm gonna do is sing and write lyrics? You're gonna do fucking everything else. But at the end of this, I want this shit up on every single platform, and I'm actually gonna just put it out, good or bad, you know? And we ended up making like two songs that like I'm really proud of. Like I think they're bangers. Like um and so yeah, that's kind of how it just like came about. Like and we did it in 3 days. You know, so I just like got with them for 3 days. We laid down this music. Like it was just like I heard the music and I figured out like none of it's necessarily true except for the song called Fucking Up, which is I'm really good at fucking up. So that one's pretty true. But the rest of them are more or less just like multiple experiences that I've had in life that have just stuck with me over the years. And I was able to just that's the cool thing about music and like poetry, you know, it's like there's no rules. Like you don't have to be grammatically correct. You don't have to know where to put like all these things, like me being like an undereducated person as far as that's concerned. Like it was very easy for me to just have that freedom to say what I need to say, and then more or less my only job is to make it to fit to the music and like come up with some little melody, you know? And we are going to do 6 more songs at the end of this month. I'm going back out to Austin. I mean, I've been out of work for a while, so I'm definitely like this dude is getting a kind of a sweet deal. Like, you know, like the more I think about it, because like I'm a business person. Like I think about things as a business. Like I think about things by numbers, you know. And so I'm paying this dude to write the music for me and mix and master and do everything that I don't fucking know how to do. But he still fucking owns 50% of the music, which I'm like, damn, that's a good deal. Like, you know, but like, I think I guess that's how I had to get into this, you know, is like convince him like, dude, I'm serious. I'm going to do this. And now he's kind of about it. Like after like listening to this, he's like, dude, this is good, you know? And, so it's pretty exciting for me. It's definitely like I definitely have a lot of like just like personal like you know, like I have to keep telling myself that it's not my job to decide what's good and what's bad, you know, and just keep putting stuff out, you know. And at this point in time where like the world is just like such a crazy place, like this is the time, you know, like I mean
I'm with you.
Know everybody, you know. So what else can I do except like get vulnerable and like tell this story that has been building over 32 years of my like debaucherous activities and like mania and insanity, you know.
Like I know. I heard it right away. There's a lot of pain. It seems like in this particular album, or at least the 2 songs that I was able to sample. And I've always been impressed with your grit too. On top of that, so real fast before I get into this, like, I don't know, kind of saboteur character. It seems like you're writing for, who's also like mindful in the same breath. I've always admired you for your grit. Like, to give a little backstory, you started this YouTube company, and keep me on the tracks, if I get offline, but or out of line or inaccurate. But you helped this guy, Six Pack Shortcuts. Like, you helped this guy launch his company, which is, I think he ended up selling it. Is he even a part of it anymore? But long story short, it was wildly successful, and you were just like, okay, I'm going to do this thing. And before I knew it, you were either living in Hawaii or just like chilling in Hawaii. I don't know what.
I mean,
you even know? It happened so fast. And then next time I talk to you, I don't know, not next time I talk to you, but a couple of years later, you're doing something else, like on this ranch. And I like, man, this guy's got some grit. Like, he'll just, okay, fuck it, I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to figure out other ways to make money. And when we connected again, you're like, I'm doing X, Y, and Z on this ranch. I'm like, I never even thought of that. It's fucking great, man. But you end up making it work. So if I may just automatically pat you on the back for your grit. It's something that you don't see all the time. We're living in a day and age where kids now kind of, they want to be a YouTube star, or like they want to win the lottery or something. And they don't have a whole lot of grit, it seems like. It's something that I feel like is fading. We're living in a society there where grit isn't necessarily around as much. So it's cool to see somebody that has that,
I mean, I appreciate you thinking about it like that, because I mean, I agree with you. I think my one skill, like really my one skill that no one can take away from me is I survive. Right. Like I definitely personally, like nobody does this to me. Like I personally get myself into situations over and over and over again that I literally have to fight my way out of. And I'm good at that, Now I am getting older, and like that is a struggle that I don't necessarily want to continue.
Yeah.
But from a very young age, like I always had to adapt. Like, I mean, I went to a different school every year up until the 7th grade. And like, I just always had to learn people, and this is kind of like a fucked up thing, but like basically how to be whoever they needed me to be.
I get that, man. That's not fucked up at all. I mean, it may come off as fucked up, but I think it's a survival instinct to be able to look at this person and say, this person is this way. Like I can connect with this person like that. It makes you likable, which I think is a crucial skill, just like in the business world, and also like your personal life and your personal endeavors, to be able to say, this guy likes sports, so I'm going to talk sports to this. I can clearly see, he's decked out from head to toe in 49ers gear. I'm going to, I can start a conversation about whatever. And then, I don't know, he seems to be political. I'm going to bring up the Kaepernick thing. Like, let's see if, he's obviously into that too. So like, there's the 2-in-1, I can connect to this person. It's not a bad thing. I know it sounds, to me at least, I know it sounds like, it's bad that
it's gonna be a 50-50 split on how people take that all the time, like but that's cool, and I think like that's what I've really been able to like put out in this music. Like I've finally been able to say, like I've finally been able to just like talk about this like internal struggle that I've had for my entire life, where I don't know if it's good or bad or right or wrong, but like fuck all that, right? Like it just is what it is. Like, so it's like, like there's going to be people who completely don't understand where the fuck I'm coming from. They're going to hear a song called Fucking Up, which is literally just about how I'm fucking tired of fucking up over and over again. And there's going to be people who are going to just be like, well, stop fucking up.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, yeah, well, you don't understand, but that's cool, you know? Like,
yeah, if I may quote a line from Fucking Up, you say, I'm so tired of always fucking up. I'd be fine if I could just give you up. That's this mindfulness and also the saboteur of yourself of like, I know how to fix it, but I'm not gonna, kind of a thing. I think a lot of people can connect. I could connect with that. I totally get that. There's a multitude of times that I can think of where I've been kind of fucking up for my own self, like my own one thing leads to another, and I know that if I just stop doing X, then Y won't happen. So that line connected with me personally. So I can see the 50-50 split on that one as well, of people going, why don't you just fix it, dude? Like, why don't you just
yeah. You know, and like, that's cool. Like, I really like admire those people who have that type of, you know, like positivity, I guess, which I've lost over the years. Like, I'm just like more of an existential person, and like, and it gives me peace, like this like darkness, like and that song specifically, right, like again, like taking from multiple experiences, like truly that is about opiates. Like, that song is about, you know, this, at this point, 15 years of my life, which has been on and off opiates, you know. And like, I'm the type of person that like I really like, and I know this is like a crazy thing to say, but I, you know, like, it's never been something that is like, I've never lost a job. Like, I don't like, I, you know, never been like on the streets. Well, maybe for a night or two, but like, you know, like I mean, it's been a stress, and I know it's a horrible thing, and it's an epidemic, and for some fucking reason, like, I hold this like this basketball diaries kind of like beauty, like it's poetic to me, and I know that's fucked up too, but like, I also understand like another line of that song is and everything that mattered didn't matter too much, you know, when I found you. And I remember the day that I fucking first ever did an opiate, and it was like this calming feeling that I was like, wow, this is what I've been looking for.
Yeah.
You know, and because I'm so like introspective to myself, and I'm very honest with myself, where I may not be honest with literally anybody else in my life, but I'm very honest with myself. And I just have always known, like, look, this isn't what's good for you. Like, there's obviously underlying issues here that you're trying to mask with a substance that is not good for you, you know. And later in life, like, I've been able to, you know, put it down for years or 6 months. Like, you know, for the last 5 years, I've probably been on like a kick where like once every year I take a little 3-day opiate vacation, like away from the world, you know. And like, but
yeah,
it's caused me a lot of heartache too, you know. So it's this struggle where like I'm tired of it. Like, I wish I could put it down forever, but I just I don't know, you know. But I hope that other people can maybe like read those same words and like think about maybe like a relationship in their life, like whether it be with a person or whatever else, that's just like not good for them. And like, you understand that you got to put it down, like you got to let it go,
right,
to move on. And that's totally what that song was about, you know. Was just about how, like, I know this thing is hurting me, and it's done all of these things to me, and I'm just fucking tired of it, and I'm trying to find a way within myself to like to grow and put it down forever, you know, thank God for Xanax and White Claws, because it's definitely kept it at bay through the quarantine. You know, I don't know what's better or worse, to be quite honest with you. But
like a baton that you hand.
Fucking whatever. Yeah, one for another. You know.
Yeah, I'm not drinking right now, but I am smoking a lot of weed. Or you know, I haven't smoked in 2 weeks, but going through the Jack Daniels pretty quick. That seems to be like the two things that, like, hey, I'm doing pretty good. I'm not drinking as much. And then I'll look at my weed consumption. I'm like, that's a lot. That's a whole lot more than I normally do.
You know, I've always said people without vices generally come with very annoying virtues. So I prefer the people who at least are like, look, like, I need to fucking escape for a day or two. You know, like those are my people. Those are the ones that I understand, you know?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I get that, man.
So.
I totally get that. When do you find yourself being most creative? You know, you talked about, I watched a Kurt Cobain documentary. This is a while ago, several years ago. But they interviewed one of his ex-girlfriends. And she would go to work and he would create all day long. Like, if it wasn't writing a song, he would like make little like paper dolls and like, I don't know, just like little art projects. Yeah. And she was like, I would come back home and this art would be done, like, or he would write a song, or he would build a little castle out of like the blankets and shit in my, you know, like a little display of stuff, like this interactive art piece. When do you feel like you're most creative? Is it when you're alone? When you're sad?
It's when everything falls apart.
Yeah, you can lean on
when there's nothing else for me to do. With it, which is like generally in a manic phase for me, for sure. Like, I'm just able to like focus in on something. And that's what I always find myself doing, like, because like those are my heroes, you know, like my heroes are like the Jean-Michel Basquiat's and the Tom Waits and the Lou Reeds and like these fucking weirdos who are just like, again, like, it's like, if you would have looked at these people, like, you know, in their early ages, like they were probably just like loners without friends who were misunderstood and like didn't have a group of people, and then they just started putting their soul onto whatever they decided to, and people related, you know, and like people heard them, and like, and that's what I've really tried to do with this particular outlet is I just want people to hear it. Like, I want people to make it whatever it is for them. Like, obviously, like, I pray to God that, I mean, I don't believe in God, but like, I pray to whatever the fuck. And I hope that, you know, 99.9% of the people don't listen to the song and think about opiates or, you know, the other song, Good Times, which is like clearly about like a relationship and a toxic relationship and getting out of it. Like, you know, but I hope people can listen to it and they can make it their own. And I tried to leave it in as ambiguous as possible so people can insert their own lives into it, and just like, whether or not I'm a great singer, whether or not it's your type of music, like maybe it's just like some words that you needed to hear, you know?
Totally, man. I feel like also, you know, this art may be another form of passing that baton of addictions, you know, like I'm feeling anxious, so I'm going to trade my anxiety for something creative. Do you ever feel like that also? I didn't want to, I know that we're kind of bouncing right back from where we started from, but I didn't.
No,
I didn't want to
for sure. That's it, man. Like,
yeah,
like that's totally it. Like, it's like me, like, just being like, all right, like, I've got these feelings that I can't kick. Like, how am I going to kick them?
Right.
And I've always needed an outlet for that. So this is, you know, during quarantine, become my outlet, and God knows what I'm going to come up with tomorrow morning when I wake up. But I hope that I stick with this. Like, I hope that I just like fucking commit. And like, that's my issue. I'm very quick, like with Six Pack, I'm very quick to be like, yeah, sure, buy me out. Yep, yeah. I'm done. I'll move on.
Yeah.
You know, but being 32 years old, like what's happening is I'm just becoming less and less qualified to do the things that I'm good at.
Yeah.
So, you know, I need to find something and commit to it. And right now, this is really exciting to me. Like I'm really proud, you know, especially, you know, even that Good Time song and the Fucking Up, like those two songs that like just he wrote the music, I came up with the lyrics, and in an hour it was done. And that was just like beautiful and amazing to me. That like that's something that I'd never in my life done before, and was just able to take these feelings and emotions and like make them something that to me, like again, like I think they're good songs, you
Yeah,
know? And I don't expect everybody to think that, but that's okay. Like that's okay too, you know?
yeah, keep that Warhol quote present in your memory, man, and present in your mind. Just fucking keep cranking it out. Like keep
Right.
pushing forward. We're getting close to needing to wind down here. I want people to know where they can buy this album. This podcast will be out on the 11th.
On the 14th, but nothing's gonna be for sale right now. Like it's gonna be out on every platform: Apple Music, Spotify. There's like 8 other ones I don't even know. Tidal, like you know, like it's crazy. It's pretty simple how it works. Like you just literally upload a file from Google Drive and pay $60 and it's distributed for you. So
yeah, man.
it's going to be out everywhere. I'm definitely going to be sharing it on my social media and telling people to add it to playlists. And I'm pretty, because this is a new industry, a new industry, and I'm taking it from a business perspective. So I'm for sure excited to like do some growth hacking and like, you know, kind of get some things, use my business savvy to like take this product and like try to do something with it, you know?
Totally, man. Tell people what to plug into Spotify, for instance, in order to find you.
Just Travis Chimera. The project is called Words Over Melody because like I'm not a great singer, so it's literally words over melody.
I beg to differ on that. You can hold a note, man. It's very. I mean, this is. I know John Mayer gets a lot of flack, but I hold John Mayer to a pretty high regard. It has a little bit of a John Mayer feel to it. And dude, he won a Grammy in 2003 for like the best vocal performer. So if that tells you anything, man, you know, you can hold a note, you can carry a tune. And it's very much got like a feeling of John Mayer to it. He went to the Berklee College of Music. Like that's, I don't know, man. Don't be so hard on yourself. Keep.
I just want to say really quickly what I'm going for is like a mixture of Lou Reed and Tom Waits. Like I never considered John Mayer, but
I totally missed the mark.
You totally missed it. But I mean that's so like, but that's the beauty of it, man. Like I want everyone. Like I would love that feedback. I would love to hear. Like I'm pretty active on Instagram, you know, like and I hope people follow along because this is like an interesting journey for me, and like maybe it'll inspire somebody to do their own thing. And I think that's what the world needs is like more art, more vulnerability, more people simply putting their life that they've lived, which is all a unique experience, into something that is all going to be beautiful, whether it's just to you or to millions of people.
That's amazing, man. I'm going to include your Instagram handle on the show notes. So if anybody just wants to click, we'll shoot you right over to your specific page.
Cool, man.
And yeah, man, I had a blast. Thanks for coming back on. We always end the show with a poop story. Have you ever pooped your pants, man? Or do you know anybody that's shit their pants?
Do you remember I was honestly like kind of thinking that you were gonna bring back that clip because you remember my last poop thing that I did on the last episode, right?
Yeah.
It was actually a song. I actually was like, nah, I'm gonna write a fucking song about poop.
You did. It was great.
I really wanted to fucking bring that back up, but
go back to
any
episode if you want to hear a poop song. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, recently, like as far as like poop is concerned, well, I will say that like I'm getting older and my poops are changing.
Yeah,
it's like
in the words
my
of
poops are changing.
Yeah, and the words of Bob Dylan, if we're gonna stay on this musically, poop is a changing. Yeah, and I may be paraphrasing there, but
I'm pretty sure that was what he said.
I think so. Yeah, times are changing. Poop is a changing. Something like that. I think it's poop is a changing.
But get a colonoscopy.
Yeah,
that's all I say to people. Go ahead and get a colon. If you're like, what the, like my poops are weird, go get a colonoscopy, because I did that, and I had to beg my doctor to order me one. She's like, you're too young. And there was 3 rather large polyps removed from my colon, which could have turned out to be precancerous. So that'll be my it's a maintenance thing. It's not something that, like, unfortunately, it's something that I'm going to have to do every 2 years for the rest of my life now. But I encourage everybody to WebMD what you need to tell your doctor for them to get you a colonoscopy, and just go get some fucking general anesthesia for a day. You'll wake up loopy as fuck. It'll be fun. And you won't remember anything, and you'll just like have that peace of mind that nothing is wrong with your colon, because that's a pretty serious the digestive tract needs to be taken care of, and unless you're just one on a perfect diet, which God knows what that is, because there's a million of those out there, just go get a colonoscopy. And that's going to be my poop story.
Oh, man, yeah, that's a good sound advice.
Yeah.
Javi, thanks for coming on, man. I'm going to cut you loose. So that's it for us. And play us out, Shitty Ukulele. I wasn't ready with my outro music. So now play us out, Shitty Ukulele.
Thanks for having me on, man.
Thanks, dude. How'd that feel, man?
I want to get sponsored by White Claw, by the way. Like, I'm trying really hard to just be like an influencer for White Claw. So shout out to White Claw.
I'm going to end this, dude. So capture all of it within the allotted time.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on, Adam. I really do appreciate it. I love you, man.
Dude, love you too, man. I'm pumped.
I'm glad we've stayed in touch for all these years. It means a lot.
Same here, man. Same here. I wish you the best, dude. And I'll try and promote the hell out of you, dude.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
Peace, homie.
Peace.